Yeah, well, for starters, man, I appreciate it. Thank you for talking with Nerds of Color. Um, when I heard that they were gonna do Tales from the Hood 3, I knew for sure I wanted to talk to someone who was gonna get to be on that set. Tales from the Hood 1 still scares the hell out of me. You know, it
Yeah,
still resonates with everyone today. Um, and of course, Spike and Rusty Cundiff and Darren Scott, these guys are ballers, man. So having the opportunity to work with them, I bet was stellar. Um, but before we get to that, how has your 2020 been, man? 2020 has been kicking everyone's ass. And I'm asking everyone that I interview, what's 2020 been like for you?
overall, it's been I can't complain, right? Like all my bills are paid, and I've been fortunate enough to help other people with their rent and different things. So for me, I've been trying to just take this opportunity to really become a more solid individual. I learned some lessons early on this year and the end of last year and so forth. So for me, like it's been pretty cool because it allowed me to slow down, get rest, that kind of thing, um, and really dial in on what I wanted to do. So I mean, trust me, it'd be nice to kind of go back to the norm a little bit, but I think that like, yo, I really can't complain, man, because when I think about people, when I get asked, I know some people that and who are really going through some stuff. I ain't really going through nothing, man. I just all my stuff is just I'm pretty solid, man. But I feel for other people, so that's the thing that bothers me. I hate the fact that I talk about this in interviews where restaurants and things are shutting down, and I feel bad for some of those mom and pop spots I used to go to. Then I think about the ones that are still open, but the waiters are putting themselves at risk for dealing with the people. And then I think about the homeless people who can't eat out of those trash cans from the leftovers from the diners. So from the dinees. So I just feel like I'm like, yo, it's a lot of people going through a lot of other things worse than me. So I can't complain, man. I'm working and everything else. But but I think I think sometimes stuff like this, man, it allows people to really figure out who's important in their life and who's not. Because think about how many people we haven't seen since like March. Some
Right.
people we see. I'm cool, man. I don't need to see everybody. So overall, for me, I was just like, man, I kind of needed to slow down and get things in perspective. So, but it is a rough year. I ain't gonna lie, it's a rough year for sure.
It's just really great to hear you level like that. You know, some folks overlook a lot of the advantage that they've got, the privilege that they got, how fortunate they are at this time. And you're absolutely right. Again, I also feel fortunate. Bills are paid, roof over my head, and I'm not doing
Right.
anything like extravagant. But at the same time, there's a lot going on. You know, especially during the summer. And when Black Lives Matter took off even more, you got folks out in the streets fighting for the things that, I mean, let's be real. We're not going to stop fighting for those things. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So that's been tough. Um, how's the transition been for you going from, working in person with folks to now this is purely remote? Like I got to see you on the screen and then you getting fatigued by it. Like what's going on with that?
Yeah, as a stand-up, it's become interesting because part of the reason I enjoy stand-up so much is because of the feedback from the audience and that connection. So not being able to do stand-up in the clubs, that's a rough one because I mean I get invited to do Zoom comedy shows, but I'm not interested in doing those Zoom comedy shows. Not that bores me. I mean, I do them because I want to
Hmm.
keep it going. I don't want to be talking to no computer screens and all that stuff. I'm not with that part of it. But it is different, man. Like, but also too, it's cool now to kind of, I'm trying to see the positive and all this stuff. It's been allowing people to communicate in a different sort of way. Um, And so there are people I've been Zooming with that I would have never Zoomed with, or probably never even met because I wouldn't be in their city. But it's cool, man. I appreciate being able to connect and get the interviews done this way from the comfort of my own space. I'm cool with that. That part is cool. So if I keep finding negative things, I have a serious bucket list. But the transition, like I said, the stand-up part, that's rough. But the interview, stuff like that, oh man, I can knock out, I mess around and do 5 to 6 interviews in a day, and right here at the crib. So it's positive and negatives to everything, but I try to see the positive in most things, so I don't mess around and get into a depression by accident. You know what I mean? I'm
Mhm.
how to do it, but it's all right, man. It's all right.
I think that is really convenient to get to knock these out like 10, 15, 20 minutes, knock it out, boom, boom, boom. And you don't have to be
Yeah,
running around. Um,
absolutely.
let's talk Tales from the Hood 3. What's it like to get to work this really timeless project? And now it's on its third installment. What are you hoping that audiences are able to take away from this third one? And how do you just feel being a part of this project as a whole?
I think it's cool. First of all, just to be working. That's the first part. I'm always grateful to be working. And then it was cool because um, I was able to work with Dusty on, on one of the projects before. I think sorry, Rusty. Um, he gonna kill me for that. Uh, but I was thinking of another director's first name and then Rusty's last, the D. And never mind. Sorry, Rusty. I'm sorry. But we worked on a project, my first TV show called The Hustle, and so when I ran into him on set, that was kind of cool. We just kind of circled back. Anytime you get to see people again, it says that they're working and you're working, so that's always a good thing. And to be a part of it with Spike Lee, just anything attached to Spike Lee is just solid in itself. But it's cool, man, because I like you, I was a fan of the first one. The first one I know I'm in the third one, but that first one was the one.
Oh
That
yeah.
much they did a great job with the reality and all that stuff. That's classic, though. And it's classic because it's not typical either. It's not like the white girl running through the woods. This is like touched on so many different things. That's also why I like it, because they get these 4 different stories in one, and all of them are so different and have its own little message in them. So that's cool, man. To say, that's kind of one thing off the list is a horror film, and hopefully I can do, a few more, because this is cool. It's different because, like, on other projects, you're playing across from another actor. So with this one, it's like the director, calling action, and then I'm running, and he just says, turn, jump, scream. So it's a bunch of reactionary shots.
Right.
That was something new for me, but the process was dope, man. I'm glad I had a chance to do it.
I'm sure like the horror genre itself is fairly difficult to tap into, especially if you're coming from like a totally different space, you know what I mean? But still you've got that baller experience, you've got experience as an actor in general, but I'm sure horror brings a different kind of a stress. Um, outside of that, what would be like your dream role? You know what I'm saying? Like you've been grinding for years now, months, and then suddenly you get that dream role in a dream genre.
It might be, something like romantic comedy, or something like a romantic comedy, or something like Dead Presidents, right? Dead
Mm-hmm.
Presidents, though, because, for example, Chris Tucker's role in particular. I like the film as a whole, but Chris Tucker, what was dope about that was that it was a nice balance between comedy and drama. Like, we got the funny parts of Chris. We was able to laugh with all of that. But then when Chris Tucker's character returns from war, from Vietnam, and we get to see Chris Tucker going to his dramatic stuff. And I was like, man, it's a nice balance to be able to do both in the same project. But then at the same time, I like something like when Will Smith he did Hitched, where he was that role of just being smooth, but it was comedy, but it was romantic. So I like anything in that space that allows me to show my comedic side, but also work other muscles within the film. So something like that, man. I don't know. And then maybe I might mess around and play a James Baldwin and or somebody classic like that. That's gonna be a lot of pressure, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm up for that kind of challenge, man. So Right now, something like that might be my dream thing. Yeah. So
Hey, look, man,
I'm invested, so it's going to happen anyway.
we need more brothers in that genre too, anyway, because it's either, you know, for a while we getting killed in horror movies, or, you know, we like the goofy friend in rom-coms. But no, man, people like us. People find the things we do appealing, just like all kinds of folks. I mean, give us some of that space to show that range. And I think actors like yourself have the opportunity, if given the opportunity, would knock that out of the park, man.
Exactly,
Um,
exactly, exactly, absolutely.
and so what? One more thing before we go. What can fans look forward to? What else are you working on? Stuff you can talk on. Things you hope to you know to get the ball rolling on after Tales from the Hood 3.
Right now, I'm working on. We're in pre-production for this other series that I'm on, and I'm sure I'm gonna circle back with you and go into the details of that. But we're in pre-production for that, so I start filming probably in a couple weeks or whatnot. Right now, I'm in quarantine for it, so I got to just kind of shut it down, make sure I stay negative. It's a grind, dude. I'm just trying to, keep working, land some projects, and and as the projects come out, continue to gain more believers about who I am and what I do, and and keep rolling so that this won't be the last interview and so forth. So it's a process, man. It's a grind though.
I have no doubt it won't be the last one. You know what I'm saying? And your rise, it's always great to see. Um, it's always great to see more actors and actresses of color continue to climb up. So I got no doubt, you know, we'll get to meet up again. But yeah, man, I appreciated the talk. I'm super excited to see this, how it turns out. And and we'll talk again, man. We're gonna talk about the next project you have, the next project after that, and we're gonna see you rise.
Absolutely, bro. I appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah, man. You take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of this 2020 and 2021.
Yeah, you be safe too, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much, brother.